Hi everyone, this is Judy Smith, Director from Edmonton FCSS. For this new Director session, Nuggets of Wisdom for Newbies, I've asked several of my colleagues to answer some key questions that I believe will help you as you are a new Director with FCSS. Question number 1 that I asked some of my colleagues to answer for you. What was the best piece of advice someone gave you when you started as an FCSS Director?
Always remember that the community is your client and that's who you're working for, the betterment of the community.
The best advice that I wish I had gotten was it's okay to say no. As a new director, you're going to have a lot of stuff come at you quickly, a lot of demands, and it's okay to take that step back and say no.
So the best piece of advice I received as a director, and I think it's good for everyone, is that you have to take care of yourself before you can take care of anyone else. So like those pre-flight instructions that none of us ever listen to, you have to put your own oxygen mask on first, because if something happens and you pass out, you're no good to anyone else.
Okay, so what is one of the best pieces of advice I was given when I first got into this role? We get into this field to help and make a difference. And sometimes with the best will in the world, we just can't. And that can be really difficult and a hard reality for some of us. However, if you can put your hand on your heart and honestly say, I did my best, don't drag yourself about the outcome. Try and learn from it instead. It does take practice, but it works, I promise.
Hi there, Terry Gilchrist here. Some call me old. I prefer to be called seasoned as a 25-year FCSS director. So the best advice I was given when I took on being a director was to don't overcomplicate finding out what's eligible for FCSS. Read the act, read the regulation, and then live by it. Makes it super simple. If you have other needs in your community where they aren't eligible for FCSS funding, find other grant funding, ask your municipality to fund it. But stick with the act, don't try to make things fit. It makes your life a whole lot more simple, and it also helps leverage the funding you do have for additional supports in your community. Cheers.
Well, I think it's important to remember to give yourself a year or two to completely understand the role. The complexity of the community needs, the government responsibilities and expectations, the funding model is so unique that you have to give yourself time to completely understand the role.
I think the best advice I was given when I became a new director in FCSS was to focus on the fundamentals of prevention. We're going to be asked to do all sorts of things with our community and partners and other agencies. But if you can focus on what it is to do primary and secondary prevention, you're going to be able to be successful as an FCSS director.
Hi, I'm Zach Morrison. I'm the Executive Director for Barons-Rica-Warner FCSS down in the South Region. The best advice I got when I first started in my role was that other FCSS directors are a tremendous support. Sometimes this position can be lonely and it's tough to know who to turn to for advice or for guidance, and I found that other FCSS directors helped me to find balance as well as my footing.
Question 2. The thing that I'm glad I didn't know when I started in FCSS is...
Well, you know what? I'm glad I didn't know the fact that you might, depending on your municipality, have very, very little support. You might be, as soon as you're in that role, the expert in FCSS. So it's so important to reach out to other directors, not only in your region, but through the province and through the association, because you might feel a little lost. And I'm glad I didn't know that, because that would have scared me. But it's all going to be okay.
say that the thing I'm glad I didn't know when I started FCSS was that we would probably be responsible for emergency social service responses in the case of a disaster in our municipality. I'm glad I didn't know what all that entailed, because it might have made me think twice about taking the position.
The thing I'm glad I didn't know when I started at FCSS is that I would never be bored, but as well as how difficult it can be sometimes working for a board. However, what I've discovered is that a board can be a tremendous asset for understanding community needs, as well as professionally, I've been able to create a lot of really positive and trusted relationships over the years.
Okay, so what is one thing I am glad I didn't know before I get into this job? The entire millinery store worth of hats I'd have to wear, and how quickly that I would have to change them throughout the day, let alone the week. If I had known that, it might have intimidated me out of the best job I have ever had. Fortunately, I look good in hats, and I bet you do too. And I've learned how to wear each one of them and keep up the current fashion. So, and there is no such thing as too many evaluation forms and outcome measures. Get used to it.
So the thing I'm glad I didn't know when I started FCSS, that we would end up with this much technology, and one day we'd be sitting here doing this instead of being face to face.
The thing I'm glad I didn't know was there's a lot of math. The fiscal responsibilities are way more intensive than the job description gives me.
Tara Gilchrist here, FCSS Director, Town of Canmore. Been around here 25 years. And the one thing I'm glad I didn't know when I took on being an FCSS worker was how different it was to be in a municipality than to be in a social agency with like-minded people. The diversity of department, education, decision-making lenses, things like that continue to be a challenge for those of us in the social realm, and it's something that I might have rethought had I known at the time. Anyways, ongoing challenge, and yet continue to grow and enjoy. Thanks, good luck.
That every day will be completely different. No day is the same, and some people can't handle that in life. Just remember, anything can walk through your door.
Hi, everyone. I hope you enjoyed all the wisdom that was shared with you from our colleagues. I want to thank them all for contributing to this video. And I just want to say we're so happy that all of you new directors are here with us and joining in this FCSS family. I also wanted to share one of the things that I never anticipated from this work is that all the great friends that I would make, all these other directors all across the province that have become really good friends of mine, and that no matter where we are, what size of community, we're all working to improve our community. And we do that together in a variety of ways. And I'm just so proud to be part of such a program that can put aside a town, village, city, whatever, wherever we are, and just think of what's best for the people that live in our province and in our communities. So I want to thank everyone again for contributing to this, and I hope it was helpful, and enjoy the rest of the conference. Thanks. Bye.